Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 318. I believe it's 318. And I'm going to finally show you this cute project that I've been bragging about since last week. And yeah, it's been sitting on my desk since then, and I just keep looking at it and go, oh my gosh, I want to make a bunch of these. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Excuse me, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome to my channel. If you are new, I am in the chat room during the video premiere. So head on over there, and you know, that's where I'll be with my friends. If you're watching on a replay and you have a question or a comment, just leave it down below. And then YouTube will let me know and I can reach out to you. I need to get a drink of water. Hold on. I have a little frog in my throat. Okay, I apologize for that. All right. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to spin my camera. So close your eyes just for a second while I do that. Okay, so before I get started, I wanted to show you this cute little thing that I got. And look how adorable it is. It is a little acorn. Let me show it to the side here. It's a little acorn. And look at that little squirrel. And he's got his head stuck in the acorn. And I just have some push pins in there. But look at inside here. His little face is inside the lid, like he's peeking in there. Isn't that the most cutest thing you ever saw? So I just put push pins in there for now, but let me know what you would put in here. I didn't want it to leave it empty, but so he's been sitting on my desk too to share. So yeah, so let me know what you think you would put in there. Okay, so let me get him off my desk. And we will get started. All right, so I'm going to be using the cute little Fun for Fall. So let me get what I've used here. So today I'm using the Branching Out. Now I don't think you can get this anymore, or maybe it's on last chance. But anyway, so I'm using Branching Out, Perennial Postage, and then the Fun for Fall bundle. And I sold all of my Fun for Fall kits, so because I had a few left, so those are all gone. So I want to thank everybody that grabbed that. All right, and I'm also going to use a new Sunflower Fields Designer Series paper. All right, so more stuff to sit behind me. Okay, so what I did do was I cut some pieces of the DSP, so I'll just set that aside. And then I stamped and die cut out the pieces that I'm going to use on the card, just so that I could speed it up and everything can dry. All right, so I'm just going to set those aside. And let me get my little mat. Let's see here. I am going to sponge a little bit of Azure Afternoon, or Azure. I don't really know how to pronounce it. So, and I'm just using the small blending brush. Get some of that heavier stuff off of there. And I'm just going to put this in the center of my die cut. And I'm not going all the way to the end. All right, just to put a little bit of like blue sky or whatever. There, you can see it better when I hold it at that angle. All right, and then I do want to stamp my greeting on my cute little perennial postage. And I'm just going to use a tuxedo black. And we do have the hybrid pad, but you know, I have no filters here. I'm not going to not tell you the truth. I am not a fan of the hybrid pad. Now, if you just want to use it for stamping, like I could do with a greeting, that's totally fine. But I don't like it with the blends. And that's pretty much all you see me do here, isn't it? I just blend for my heart content. All right. So, but just for stamping, you know, it's totally fine. So I just keep using my memento pad. All right. So if you've been stamping for any length of time, I'm sure you have a memento pad. All right. So I'm just going to go hoping your day is wonderful. And I need to stamp the hoping your day up a little bit so that I can get my F. I mean, it's right on the bottom, but that's okay. I just didn't want to cut it off. All right. And that's all I'm going to stamp because, like I said, I already stamped them ahead of time and cut them out with the die. So now we can start to color. And I have a bunch of blends. Not a bunch, a few. All right. And that one stuck to my dimensional. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let's start coloring. Now I have 1, 2, and oh, here it is. It's upside down. So I have 3 little sunflowers. I have my scarecrow. I also have this bird and this bird. Like, how many birds do I want? I just want 3 birds. So I want him, him, and him. All right. Like that. So let's start to color. So I'm going to just kind of jump around as I'm coloring. All right. So I have my dark old olive. And I'm going to put that on the grass. And then I have my light old olive. And I'm going to add that on the grass too. And I'm also going to put it on the stem of my sunflower. Okay. All right. Let's do, so we have our dark daffodil for our hay bales. So hopefully if you did my class, you can make one of these projects as well. Now I am going to be using the new Gable boxes. All right. And then while I've got my dark daffodil, I'm going to do the straw. And then I will do my sunflowers as well. So like I said, I'm just kind of bopping around while I have the marker open. All right, and then my sunflowers are just going to be that dark because they're kind of small. So I don't think I need to get in there and blend a lighter color in there. Okay. And then we will take the dark lemon lolly. And go in here and do our hay bale. And I'm just kind of brushing over that dark because I don't mind it having that line there. Because he's kind of like a cartoonish, you know, kind of look. All right. Oh, while I have the daffodil out, I want to put my crows I want to give them a yellow eye. All right, what other colors do I have here? I also want my dark golden glow. And I'm just going to put a little bit up that string line and just a little bit on the top. So this just kind of deepens that hay bale. So while I have it out, I'm also going to do the face. I heard from a few of you that you really enjoyed making the projects from this class. All right, so while I have this out, I'm also going to put this on here. Okay, and then we have the light. So we'll finish his face with the light. And then like I did before, I will go in with that dark golden and go right on the edge again, just to deepen that. And it just kind of emphasizes the roundness of his face. All right, that golden glow, I swear, is the perfect. It's just such a fun color, and I just love it on the face of the scarecrow. All right. Let me color these crows. We'll get them out of the way. All right, so I want my light basic black. And I'm trying to make, I can't really get my camera to go lower. Here, let me try. That's a little bit lower, so maybe you can see a little better. If I go too low, it really interferes with the focus. So I have to be really careful. And then I get coloring and I don't even realize till I'm editing that I was all out of focus. So, but hopefully that's just a little bit closer. All right, so this is the light basic black. And then I'll go in with the dark smoky slate and finish the crow. But I still have to do their beak. Okay. And I never have done their little feet because they're so small. So I don't think you necessarily have to color the feet. Their feet are probably black. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just thinking that they are. All right. So then we have okay. So while I have my smoky slate out, I want to do the hat with smoky slate. So I'm just going to go with my dark. Okay. Alrighty. And then I'll take my light smoky slate and then just finish the hat. I kind of like him having that gray hat. All right, and then I want my dark timid for the beaks of the birds. It kind of reminds me of pumpkin pie, but not quite like pumpkin pie. It's a little more red than pumpkin pie. All right, so our little birdies are done. Let's do our string on our bale of hay. So I'm just using, what is this, number 200. All right, so now our straw is done. And then I'm going to do the same 200 in the center of the sunflower. Okay, so that's done. And then I want to do the stake or the stick that my scarecrow's on. Okay, I'm like looking at my master. So I color them the same. All right, now I'm going to take, I'm going to have his shirt be white. So I'm just going to take my light gray granite and I'm going to just put a little gray granite kind of coming up from there. Kind of coming up from there in that little elbow line, and then a little bit there and there. So what it does is it just adds that little bit of shading. So it just tells your eye that that's a white shirt. All right. Then let's see, what else did I do? Okay, so I also did Cajun Craze because we have Cajun Craze. So I wanted to pull colors from my designer series paper. So that's why I kind of changed the colors around, because I had been doing a lot of like blue jean color on the bib balls. But this time I'm going to do Cajun Craze. So this is dark Cajun Craze. And I loved how it turned out. Because you see a lot of bib balls in different colors now, like the Carhartt bib balls. You know, everything's not like blue jean anymore. It might be blue jean material, but the color is not blue jean. So this is the dark. Just go around and up there just a little bit. And underneath here and here, because I'll go in with the light and do the rest. I want to have his hat band be the same. He's color coordinated, right? Just because he's a scarecrow doesn't mean he can't be a fashionista. All right, and then this is just a light Cajun. Just kind of blend all that in. And then I just kind of go over that line where they meet to kind of knock down that line a little bit. Okay. And I just keep twisting them. It's easier to color by moving them around. I've colored him so much, I think I could color him like blindfold. All right, because he's just so stinking cute to color. All right. And then I just put that light. And there is that. Now I am going to take my dark Cajun and just add a little tiny bit just on the edges. And that will just emphasize that the scarecrow is 3D, right? Like his body wraps around. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of the dark. I don't want to do too much. All right. But it's just a way it kind of tricks your eye. All right. Now I'm going to do the dark timid tiger on the bandana, as well as the belly band or whatever you want to call it of the bib balls, because I'm like, I want that to be a different color. I'm also going to do it in the pockets. Okay. And then I'll finish with the light. Doesn't that make his bib balls look really, really cute? All right. And then I'm just going to do red for those patches. So this is just Poppy Parade. Dark Poppy Parade. And then light Poppy Parade. Okay. Cute, cute. And then I'm going to take my gel pen. So I'm just going to take my gel pen and I just need to scratch it. I just like to kind of get it started on my grid sheet. All right. So we're going to put some little dots on the little patches. I like to add that little bit of white. And do the same thing down there and on there. But I want this to look like a handkerchief. You know those red handkerchiefs? You know, Papa had one and it was, you know, you sneeze in it or whatever. So like Jeff has them for hunting and a lot of times it's just wrapped around his neck. But I want it to look like that. So I'm just going to take my gel pen and I'm just going to kind of like just draw some lines and kind of dots and checkery. And I don't want to color it too much because I don't want to make it be a white bandana. I still want you to be able to see that timid underneath there. So that is just my kind of to make it look like one of those bandanas. Just because I didn't want it to be polka dotty like the patches. So it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? All right. So there's our cutie patootie. All right. So now this is going to make a big old noise while I put those away. Well, I'm not putting them away. I'm just getting them out of the way. All right. So let's put this stuff over here. And let's bring over our little Gable box. Now, these are so cute and they're so easy to put together. All right, so I'm just going to pop this out. Now, I hope I'm not going to get this all blurry because it's close to the, whatchamacallit, close to the camera. All right. Now, I'm just going to kind of fold these a little bit just to kind of let it know that I'm expecting what it to do when we start putting this together. You know, you're going to fold that way and you're going to fold that way. You know that, right? Okay, good, good, good. All right. Then these go in here. This goes in here. And then this one goes like that. And then just goes push. And then just kind of stick your finger in there. Lay it flat. There we go. So see, look how easy to put that Gable box together. It is so stinking easy. All right. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my green tip glue and we're going to put some of this sunflower DSP on the Gable box. Now, I only did the front and the back. I did not decorate the sides. You totally could, but I just did the front and the back. All right, so let me bring it here so you can see, and I can see my blind eyeballs. Okay, so that's just going to go on there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and see which one I want on the front. This is the front. All right, so this is the back. So again, just the green tip glue. The green tip glue just allows me to have a little wiggle room in getting that DSP in place. If I used seal or tear tape, as soon as it touched, it would be stuck. And I just want to have a little wiggle room. And I like saying wiggle room. All right. So there's that. And that is the back. And you could even like leave the back as well as the sides bare. But I just thought it'd be fun to decorate, you know, the front. All right. So let's put our greeting on and then I'll just close the box. All right. So I have my wonderful fall and we're going to put that on the top of the box. And I'm just using dimensionals. Okay. I'm going to put this on here and hope I'm getting it on straight. Looks pretty good. But I am going to put the little bird. He's going to sit here. So if I was off a little bit, the bird just kind of will, you know, make up some of that space. But I put him on good. So I'm just going to trim my dimensional a little bit. And then he is just going to sit right there like that. All right, so now we can kind of put our box together. Just kind of force those down. And then it goes in here like that. Okay, so now we're going to put our stuff on the front. So I'm going to build it on the box because I find it's easier if I do that, you know, to get the placement properly. So I'm going to put my branching out. So hopefully I didn't go blurry. Because I do like being a little closer so you can see better. Okay. So this is just going to go here in the center like that. Okay. And then we're just going to start building our scene. You know me, I like to make a scene. All right. So we have our little scarecrow. So let's put him on first. And just like I was doing last week, I'm going to put the dimensionals kind of towards the center so that I can stick things in and around. All right, so he's going to go right here like that. Then we have a sunflower. So I'm going to cut up here. And I want to get a really skinny little piece. So see how skinny that is? And I'm going to put it on the stem. So I put it on that stem. And this stem. Like that. And then this one, I'm just going to have it be like partially on the stem. All right, let's see if I have any baby dimensions. Usually if I want the big ones, all I can find is the baby ones. And now I want baby ones. And I'm like, all I see is big ones. All right, so there's that, and I'll just squeeze one in there. Right. So this sunflower is going to go here, but I am going to trim. I'm going to trim it just a little bit. So it's going to kind of be under his arm. like that. And then I have this squawky Mr. Attitude bird. So he's going to sit here. Okay. Then we have our hay bales. Now this one, I'm going to put on with glue dots. So it's kind of lower. You know, it's more in the background. Okay. So it's going to go like that. And then the sunflower that I just put it like shorter, I'm going to have that go in front of that bale. So that's why I didn't need it to be, you know, super long. I might trim it like I trimmed the other one. Just depending on where you put the scarecrow. Okay, so there's that. So I got my dimensional a little further because I trimmed it, but that's okay. I don't think this is 3D, right? So if anything, you're probably going to hand it to somebody, so you don't have to worry so much about sticking it in an envelope, you know, and getting it caught. If this does, you know, bother you, it's easy to put just a little, you know, little piece of that dimensional back there. All right, and then I have this other bale, and I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. And it's going to kind of be cattywampus. Oop, not that cattywampus. I don't want to hide my sunflower. All right, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put another sunflower off to the left. And I might trim it also. Not a lot. Let's see. I'm going to put it up here. Like that. All right. And then we have this bird that can't get a word in edgewise because of this bird. So I need a little dimensional that is trimmed. I'll just stick it on the box. And then plop him right there on top of the box. And I think that is it. I didn't put any bling just because, you know, that paper is so pretty that you've got all that texture, you know, on the paper. There's the back. But like I said, if you wanted, you could trim and put DSP on the back. That would be pretty too, so that your box was covered all the way around. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with the box. So maybe when I'm like, oh, I'm going to give it to so-and-so, maybe then I will cut myself a piece and decorate the size. But right now, you know, I'm fine with it being like that. So here is the one I did earlier. So they look pretty close. I did switch the birds around because he was squawking at nobody, so I switched him to be squawking at this bird. But that was pretty much all I changed, I think. And then of course the placement, I didn't get him, you know, in the same spot, but they're so cute. And see how quick that was? These would be so easy to make. All right. Okay, so let me say, see you later, alligator. But isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh. I just want to sit and make a bunch of them because, you know, even though it's 111 or whatever it is today, I don't know what it is in Arizona. It's miserable. And we have all of August and probably all of September of heat. But before you know it, fall will be here in Arizona. Although some places, you know, they're already getting the cooler weather. But these would be fun, you know, to hand out, you know, maybe you get your hair cut, I go every 5 weeks. You could fill it up with some, I don't know, some treats. But so I think I will sit and make a few more, just to hand out to people because they're super cute and they hold like you could put quite a few things in there, right? Now I think they are food safe. These Gable boxes, I'm pretty sure they are. But I wouldn't put like a loose cookie in there. But I would certainly put like cookies in a baggie and tie it and just set it in there. Not only, because the grease, would ruin the box. Because I just assume if I'm going to give somebody one of these, it's going to be somebody that appreciates this kind of stuff, right? Like I'm not just gonna like hand it to the Dairy Queen person make me an ice cream because I don't know them from Adam and they'll probably like that's nice and then chuck it in the bin when I leave. So when I do stuff like this, it's for people that I know are going to go, oh my gosh, that's so cute, and then they'll set it on their desk or something even after all the treats are eaten. But anyways, so that was me blabbing for the day. All right, so I will let you go. I will see you Friday for my die shorts, 3 o'clock, same time, same channel, and that is Arizona time. And I will do the that kit that I showed you with the flowers. I can't think what it's called, but I will do that. And I did find my other easels from that past kit. Remember they had the moths? So that's cool. So because with flowers all over and plants all over my house, those will look cute, different places. So anyways, but so that's what I'll do Friday. So have a good week till then, and I will see you Friday. All right, bye for now.